All right, welcome back to the Sports Desk Live. We are back. It is time. We are back for some football. We're going to start off on the collegiate level, and welcome to the 2024 College Football Preview Show, brought to you by the Sports Desk Live. I'm your guy one more time, Dedrick L, Hicks Jr. Back at it again, ready to get into it. Black, what's good?
What's up, D? I'm happy to be back, man. One of your favorite sportsologists back in the building, D. You already know what time it is, man. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. All right. So we got a packed show, man, that we really want to get to, but this is a different type of vibe. This is a different type of year. It is not your granddaddy's college football anymore. But before we get started, I know a lot of y'all who are watching who may know me and Black personally, or may have heard our passionate rants about our team, the Florida State Seminoles, went down in Ireland to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in week 0. Black, real quick, nose going down to the Yellow Jackets. How do you feel?
Big loss. After Saturday, I kind of had time to really sit back and think about it. But after that loss, after hearing a few things, and see Florida State still can have some time in front of them to correct their wrong. They lost early, so schedule's tough. We're gonna see what they can do moving forward. Let's see how Norvell can see if he can get this thing right and right the ship. Man, we lost a lot of bodies, but we're not gonna make no excuses. Football is football. You got to show up and play. And Florida State didn't do that. They came up a little short. So let's see if they can right their wrong, D, and move forward with the schedule. We got Boston College Monday night. Let's see if we can get it right.
Well, you know me, I'm a very emotional fan. All right.
Yeah,
And it was an inexplicable loss.
it was.
It was a terrible loss for the program. I get losing a lot of bodies, but this is Florida State University, and we lost to Georgia Tech. No disrespect. I do like Georgia Tech's head coach. They returned 16 to 18 starters. I believe they won 5 of the last 6 games of going into last season. And they came in and they played like the team who was tougher. They looked like they were well prepared, and they were ready to play some football, and Florida State just simply wasn't. So we took the loss. Like you said, we're going to get into why Florida State is not out of it because of the new landscape of college football. The terrible loss. I don't have an excuse. I'm taking my licks and my lumps just like you are and ready to move forward to Monday night when we welcome in DC, which I think will also be a tough challenge coming into Doak Campbell Stadium. But stay tuned. We'll see exactly how that plays out. All right. So, Black, not your granddaddy's college football any longer. We have realignment. We have super conferences. We have an expansion in the playoff. We have a lot of things going on. Black, how are you feeling? What's your excitement level going into this year, this season of college football?
D, I'm excited. One thing I can't say what I'm excited about is that when we were kids, like 10, 11 years old, or what, in the 90s, we getting some of these matchups that we got in those times when teams played everybody. Even though it wasn't no conference alignment or anything like that, but teams play everybody out of their conference. But this time, teams are in conferences together, so they have to play each other. So it's going to be exciting to watch. And like you said, you've told me this something you said to me a while ago. We get matchups we've never seen before.
Yep.
They may have played each other, but we wasn't able to see the games be played. So I'm excited about all the different matchups, the realignment, man, the expansion of the playoff, seeing what teams. The thing that's going to be really good to me, seeing what teams host a home game, because look like some of those first games are going to be home games for certain
Yes, they
teams.
are.
So it's going to be very exciting to watch how that plays a part in this new format and the new playoff. The teams that's having a home game and the teams that got to go on the road in very hostile environment. I'm ecstatic about it. I'm happy. I can't wait till it kick off. I'm ready to see everything that is going to bring to college football to take it to the next level.
Yeah, super excited. Just like Black mentioned, let's go to the Big Ten. You got the additions of USC, Oregon, UCLA, headed over to the Big Ten, where you already have powerhouses like Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. Intriguing matchups of USC versus Michigan this year. Intriguing matchups of Oregon versus Michigan this year. Ohio State versus USC. You're going to get a lot of interesting matchups go on down to the SEC. You welcome in the Longhorns and you welcome in the Sooners, two mega powerhouse programs, blue bloods, matchups like Florida versus Texas, Georgia versus Oklahoma. I mean, you're going to get a wide view of what a super conference is going to look like, because I believe this is just the beginning. Key additions to the ACC: Stanford, Cal, SMU. The Big 12 looks different. Colorado is out that way. Houston is out that way. So there's a lot of different. Utah, excuse me. Is Houston in there too? I think so. I think it's just Utah, but you have a different landscape just all around. And it's going to take not only us, but you guys. It's going to take us a little while just to get used to it, all right? But all in all, very excited, looking forward to the big-time matchups and all about of college football. And like Black said, I mean, you're the playoff. Let's start there, Black. The playoff, the expansion of the 12 teams, the potential home games for a playoff field. College is crazy. Now, we watch NFL. We love NFL. We see what it looks like in Kansas City when it's freezing cold in January. We see what it looks like in Baltimore and Pittsburgh. We see what Buffalo looks like in January when they're hosting home playoff games. What is it going to look like if you have to go to Ohio State in January for a playoff game? What is it going to look like if you have to go to Oregon for a playoff game? What is it going to look like if it's a colder day, dare I say, in Florida? If you got to come to Tallahassee or Miami or Gainesville for a playoff game in the cold in Florida? It's just a lot of different things that are going to go on. So, Black, your granddaddy's college football is no more. Traditionalists are now getting on board. Where do you think college football can go in just the future of the sport with this season that's right here upon us?
Yeah, man. Like I just said, man, I think it's going to take college football to the next level, and it's already on its way. And you include the NIL, and you include a 12-team playoff or realignment. College football is what old granddaddies used to talk about. How will football be if kids got paid? How will football be if we had extended that was always barbershop talk when we never thought it would happen, but now it's here. It's here now, D. So we get to sit back and watch and see this thing grow. The first year, we know it's going to be kind of iffy. A lot of ifs or buts or whatever it may be. You know, it's the first year for everything. So I'm excited to see more than anything how the committee will handle the 12 teams that's going to be in, because I think it's going to be really tight, because we see through college football, we have a whole lot of one-loss teams, but which ones are more deserving? Which ones are more deserving to have those at large that didn't win the conference that only have one loss? You know, what teams are deserving to be the one seed or who was more dominant when you got 6 undefeated teams, conference champions, or whatever it may be, D. But I'm excited to see the things that we talked to in the barbershop and in our personal time come to fruition on Saturdays. So I'm excited. I'm ready for it to get going, D.
One of the key things for me with the playoff is you're going to have a non-group of 5 conference champion compete for a national title, compete for a spot. We've always heard of what if Boise State at 12 or 13-0 could have played for a national championship? What if that year UCF went undefeated and they could have played for the national championship? There's always speculation. There's always, we know what will happen if one of these smaller schools will face an Alabama or an Ohio State or something like that. But we never got the chance to see. We never truly got the chance to see in the national championship or playoff implications. And now we are absolutely going to see that. So the tricky thing for me is Notre Dame, they are this sore thumb in this whole equation. And why is that? Because they're not a part of a conference.
They're not
a part of a conference. So they are going to have to hope that they finish higher in the ranking system than a non-power 5 team that could potentially put them out. Could you imagine if Tulane wins their conference and they're undefeated?
or Liberty wins
Or
their
Liberty
conference.
wins their conference, and they are
Yeah.
undefeated.
Yeah.
And they finish in the top 11 or top 12, and Notre Dame is sitting at 13 with a loss or two. Notre Dame's out. They're out.
And that's one of the reasons why games like this Saturday is most important out the gate for Notre Dame.
Huge.
Going to Kyle Field is not going to be an easy task.
No, sir.
Task for Notre Dame, but if they get past that and win that game, when you look at their schedule outside of Florida State and I think they play Georgia Tech as well and one other team.
They still
I
play
can't remember
USC.
exactly who he
Yeah,
is.
USC
But
still.
they and USC, they still set themselves up to be in that playoff. But like you said, if they take a loss and win them games, they could see themselves outside of the top 12. If they take a loss, they literally may have to go undefeated to make the playoff.
It's going to be interesting and so fascinating to see. So how it will work, well, you have your dynamic, your top 4 ranked conference champions will get first round buys. They will immediately go into the semifinals. How will the other matchups work? You're going to have 5 versus 12, 6 versus 11, 7 versus 10, and 8 versus 9. Seed 5, 6, 7, and 8 will have home playoff games. Home, and get this, we don't have to wait for the bowl season to kick off in January. The playoffs start December 20th. December 20th, we don't have to wait. We're getting playoff games around Christmas, y'all. We're getting. Listen, one of my bros at my job said this. He said, "Do you realize from December 20th to December 26th, the week of sports that we're going to get?" And I had to think about it, Black.
Yeah,
we're getting college football playoff games. We're getting NBA Christmas. We're getting NFL Christmas. And then for all you college hoop fans, you have all the college hoop classics going on in that time frame. Outstanding. Happy holidays to us.
You want to know something else that sounds very wild?
What's that?
You want to get college football and NBA on TNT.
Yes.
We've that's something we've never see. The landscape is changing. You're going to have college football all over Peacock, all over TNT, all over the channels you probably would never see on Amazon college football on, because the landscape is so wide now with the change of this playoff.
Right.
This is what we're talking about exciting, and he is right, man. The how much sports we finna get in that window is going to be crazy. Like
insane for sure.
This is the time when we always say this, D. We save our most money around this time of year.
Absolutely.
Because we don't want to leave home. We don't want to leave home.
Somebody's cooking up some good food somewhere. There's gonna be plenty of styrofoam plates. There's gonna be plenty of drinks rolling. You ain't gotta go nowhere.
You don't.
You can pull up to you can get your plate. You can have you a seat. And you can really pick your choosing what you want to enjoy during that holiday week. That's going to be sensational.
Yeah.
So just to give a more of a snapshot before we move on, this is what the matchups would have been if it was the minus the first round buys. These would have been the matchups last year. You would have had your number 5 seed Florida State hosting the number 12 seed Liberty. You would have had the number 6 Georgia Bulldogs hosting Ole Miss. You would have had the 7th ranked Buckeyes from Ohio State hosting the Penn State Nittany Lions, and you would have had the 8th seeded Oregon Ducks hosting the number 9 Missouri Tigers. That would have been our matchups last year. Obviously, the top 4 champions, which would have been the playoff teams, Michigan, Alabama, TCU, and Ohio State. They would have been getting their not Ohio State. Who was the other champion that got in?
Texas A&M. Texas and Washington.
And Washington, Texas, Washington, Michigan, and Alabama, they got in last year. So that's what we would have been looking like. All right. So looking forward to seeing how it shapes out. Looking forward look forward to seeing what the committee does when it's time to pick these teams. Because now, last year with the Florida State controversy, it's apparent now that I think 12 teams is the right number. Did it have to go 12? Could have kept it at 10? Maybe. But you're looking for excitement. When you watch the NFL, you get excitement. When you watch the NBA, you get excitement. So for college football, the tradition, I understand it, I appreciate it, and I love it. But let's be real. Was your college football starting to get a little bit stale outside of the big matchups? I'm going to answer that for everybody watching. Yes, it was, but not no more. You're getting explosive matchups, and that's going to cause for more explosive content. So definitely keep it locked here with the Sports Desk Live. All right, Black, let's get into some predictions for the 2024 college football season. Let's talk Heisman Trophy. Heisman Trophy is a very heralded, prestigious, a big salute to that award. I mean, you get a Nissan a deal with Nissan for the rest of your life. Yeah. You get a paycheck just for being a Heisman Trophy winner. All Heisman Trophy winners are on TV each and every week. Yeah. So, Black, what you got for me? Who do you predict is going to win the Heisman Trophy this season?
Well, for me, D, it's really no huge names this year. You know, you have your quarterbacks out there, no one that really stands out. I think this might be a year where you go into the season to see how it plays out. I don't think it's like one person that really, in my opinion, that stands out or this guy, he's the front runner to win the Heisman. Let's see how he plays this year and win the Heisman. But one of the first names that come to my mind because of the situations that he in is Gabriel, the quarterback that transferred from Oklahoma going over to Oregon. Yeah. I think he's going to be someone to watch. He could have a big year with all that talent and speed he has around him. Receivers like Evan Stewart coming over from Texas A&M. Yeah. They got the number 1 receiver. They got the number 2 receiver in the class. Is going to be there also coming in. Nice run game, nice defense. Lanning has done a really good job.
He has
over at Oregon. So Gabriel could be a guy. I'm going to say Georgia's quarterback. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. Help me. Carson Beck here from Jacksonville, Mandarin High School. I would love to see him be in the mix of that also. But you have to think they're going to have a really heavy run game getting transferred. ETN's little brother from Florida. So we'll see how that plays out as well. So those just 2 names off the top of my head that really stands out. The Gabriel and then Carson Beck from Georgia. And then who knows who else can come in, man, with this realignment, D. It's going to be very exciting to see. And then, another quarterback. I'm sorry, Will Howard.
Don't take all the names. Don't take all the names.
My last one, Will Howard coming over from Kansas State. He's going to be Ohio State's new quarterback as well. So he's another one that could be in the mix of it as well, D.
Interesting. For me, it's one answer only. Travis Hunter. He is going to be featured offensively and defensively at a heavy dose. Prime has made that to be very, very clear. For future purposes, Travis Hunter is going to be a top 3 pick in next year's NFL draft. He is an athlete of an alpha nature, and I think this could be the year with not a necessarily a home run favorite, which Dylan Gabriel is the favorite to win the Heisman according to the MGM Grand. I'm going to go with Travis Hunter because I just really believe that he is going to have the opportunity to feature in the Big 12. He's going to catch a lot of balls. He's going to be more involved with the offense. And then let's call it what it is. That defensive mindset at the cornerback position. He is truly indeed a shutdown corner. And what goes on in the Big 12? Well, a lot of points are being scored. So what better opportunity that Travis has is to link up with some of the best receivers in the Big 12 and then also be one of the best receivers in the Big 12. I think it's just going to really, really show. I think he's got his feet up underneath him, and I think they're going to get a little bit more tricky and a little bit more fun with plays that are being dialed up for Travis Hunter. So I got Travis Hunter winning the Heisman this year. I think we haven't seen a defensive player win the Heisman Trophy since Charles Woodson did it. And I'm not saying he's Charles Woodson, but my God, if you watch him play, the first thing should come to your mind, ball player. And that's what he is. He's an elite talent. I'm going Travis Hunter to win the Heisman Trophy this year at the University of Colorado. Yeah. All right.
Then me having to pick right now, D, I'm gonna go with the hometown kid. I'm gonna say Carson Beck has a big year for Georgia this year. I think he's been in that offense.
He's gonna have to.
Yeah, he's been in that offense for now his second full year. I think this is the time for him to get in the mix and bring the Heisman back to Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. All right. So, Black, let's go ahead and get into prediction time. All right. So we're not going to predict the whole playoff, but we are going to predict the national championship game. All right. So, Black, out of all of the hoopla and the fun and the games and the excitement, when the dust settles, when we get to January 20th, that's going to be the national championship game. It's going to be on the eve of NFL Wild Card Weekend. All right. So what do we got, my man? who's playing for the national championship and who's going to win it?
Well, the first team for me, D, and I feel like it'll be a letdown season if they're not there. Is going to be the Ohio State Buckeyes. This might be one of the better offense. I mean, Ohio State Buckeyes team we've seen in a while. I mean, talent everywhere on both sides of the ball. D, I mean, defensively, they're going to be one of the best defensive teams in the nation. So I got Ohio State getting to the national championship as well. And then the other team, D, that I think can have a sneaky good year if they can take care of business of the teams on their schedule that we just talked about. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Okay.
I think this could be the year that they could get it based upon their schedule. If they get past A&M, if you're looking up and down their schedule, it's not a lot of games on there. It's not a really tough schedule until you get to the end when you got to play Florida State and USC. So Notre Dame can really set themselves up. Can Marcus Freeman with his best team, with Leonard Riley coming over from Duke as the quarterback, can they get it done with NFL talent on both sides of the ball? Can they get it done? So I'm going to pick the national championship game to be Ohio State versus Notre Dame.
Who's going to win it?
Ohio State. This is the year for Ohio State. Ryan Day has had this team locked and loaded every year, but it's come up short. This is by far one of his best teams at Ohio State since he's been there. So I'm picking Ohio State to win the national championship this year, D.
Man, I got a wild matchup, man. and the playoff is going to finally allow one of my participants for the national championship game, finally allow us to see what a Lane Kiffin team looks like playing for a national championship. And this is the beauty of the playoff. You don't have to win your conference. How many years has Ole Miss finished the season ranked in the top 10 or right outside it? How many years have they won 9 or 10 games and played in a New Year's 6-day bowl? It happens a lot since Kiffin been there. And Ole Miss is going to be a team that they will stun somebody in the playoff and make it to the national championship game. And that's what I'm calling for. My first participant is going to be Ole Miss making it to the national championship game this year. And I got them also facing the Ohio State Buckeyes. I look at the schedule. I don't see many potential roadblocks for them, even though the Big Ten is beefy. Respect to Penn State. I'm not the biggest fan of what Michigan is hyped up to be. A lot of noise coming out of Ann Arbor. A lot of noise coming out of Ann Arbor. I don't like that for programs when all off season long the noise has been loud. So Oregon's going to be a tough matchup, but I think the physicality of Ohio State later in the year, it's a different kind of cold in Columbus than it is in Eugene. It's a different type of cold in Ann Arbor than it is in Eugene. So I'm going to go Ohio State versus Ole Miss for the national championship this year. And I'm going to take the Rebels.
You like Jackson Dart, huh? You like Jackson Dart, huh?
I'm going to take Jackson Dart, Lane Kiffin, and the Ole Miss Rebels to win the national championship this year. Wow. I am hoping for chaos. I am hoping for fun. And Lane Kiffin is the type of coach. I just feel it. Look at the NCAA tournament for basketball. You'll get a team in the tournament that just kind of catches fire. And you're just kind of like, where did they come from? They're clicking on all cylinders. You can get a little crazy in the tournament. Who's more perfect to do that than Lane Kiffin?
Because no one's going to be talking about him.
And no one's going to be seeing anything coming. So I'm going to take old Lane and the Rebels, Jackson Dart, to win the national championship this year, man. So Black.
I like that, D.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I know a lot of you guys are as well. It is college football time. Don't worry. We have you covered right here on the Sports Desk. Each and every week, we're going to be going over the crucial and critical matchups throughout the week. We're going to break them down. We're going to give predictions. We're going to have fun. We're going to be doing some sports betting as well, giving you some overs and some unders and have a lot of fun with the Sports Desk this college football season. So stay tuned. Keep it locked here for consistent content as we go through not only the college football season, but the National Football League as we fastly approach the opening of that season. Black, any final remarks before we wrap it up?
Yeah, man, just excited to get this thing kicked off Saturday. Well, actually Thursday. I can't wait to see Colorado on the big stage on Thursday night. Just excited college football is back. My favorite sport. No disrespect to NFL, but college football is number one for Black, and I can't wait. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to recover it all, D.
Absolutely, man. Well, appreciate y'all watching. Thank y'all for the support. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Liking the content continues to push us out throughout the algorithm. We know there's a lot of sports shows out there. There's going to be a lot of content out there, but give the boys out of Duval County a shot and see what we got going on for sure. All right. So appreciate y'all. See y'all on the next one. Peace and happy college football 2024. We'll see y'all on the next one, man. All right.